This is 7 News, the voice of the Riverina.
Good evening. The long-awaited Inland Rail community session has been postponed, leaving residents feeling frustrated and angry.
Organisers were tipped off about a protest and pulled the pin at the last moment.
What should have been a drop-in community session was met with more frustration. Inland Rail leaving residents high and dry.
Nobody's coming here to riot or tear the place down.
Coming along today simply to ask questions at an apparent public forum and get responses.
Inland Rail pulled out of today's information session due to protest concerns. Its staff travelling to Wagga to turn people away. The Albury to Illabo stage of the project will see 185 kilometres of railway used to enable double-stacked freight trains to pass. It means the rail would split Wagga into two and would see Edmondson Bridge be reconstructed.
Who's going to want to come and live here when you're going to have the city cut in half every hour? Okay? And not to mention the grave fears I have for people who need to access that hospital.
The solution, a bypass to spare the town.
We've given you an alternative. At least consider an alternative. Don't just put your hand up and say, sorry, not our problem. And that's what they're saying.
Residents are disappointed at the late cancellation of the consultation and are now calling for more action.
What we actually really want is a Q&A session as compared to just people asking individual questions. Mind you, you're very welcome to do it, so that is wonderful.
While a rescheduled session will be held next week, the postponement weighs heavily on the community.
This is ridiculous. This is Inland Rail, again, ducking and weaving, hiding.
They've got two security guards inside there because they're concerned about the ageing ratepayers going to attack them. I don't know. I really can't get it. It's very strange.
Marla Summer, 7 News.
And for more on this, Inland Rail has released a statement about the decision to postpone the consultation. Marla Summer joins us now with the details. And Marla, a rescheduled session has now been announced.
That's right, Nick. The drop-in sessions will happen next Tuesday at the showgrounds from 3 p.m. The decision to postpone was announced around 6:30 last night, giving residents little time to digest the news. Inland Rail says it wants to ensure a safe environment and minimise disruption to the community. The info session is for one-on-one chats rather than a larger public hearing.
The ARTC needs to have the public meeting and needs to be able to clearly and articulately enunciate to people the answers to their questions. But what I would call for people to do is be calm and measured and reasoned about it.
Meanwhile, there's an information session in Junee tomorrow, which I'm told is to go ahead as planned. Nick?
OK, thanks for the update, Marla. That's Marla Summer reporting for us tonight.
More than $5 million will be put towards repairing Wagga's roads. This includes a $4.5 million package to renew 13 road segments. Works will include sections of Coringal Road, Copeland Street, as well as the inner city. A further $1 million will be spent renewing country roads that have been hit by floods.
We've also awarded a contract to another local contractor as well, so spreading the works around for Arnott Street in Ashmont, as well as Baruma Street in Baruma, Oxley Bridge Road in the rural area, as well as O'Brien's Creek Road in the rural areas.
The works will go some way towards addressing the backlog of road repairs.
Short-staffed businesses are bracing for hordes of angry shoppers this Christmas period. Already, there's been a big spike in retail workers being verbally abused, prompting calls for tougher protection laws.
It's no secret Christmas shopping can be a stressful time.
Everything's so expensive and it's all packed in here.
I don't know that people are their kindest when they're stressed out, so probably not practicing patience and just, expenses and the heat.
But for those on the other side of the counter, it can be a nightmare. Many say staff often cop abuse from angry customers.
Few people that tolerate our staff badly and the abusive behaviour.
He says the common offenders are middle-aged men who target his female staff.
If I'm here, they don't behave like that, but if I'm not here, they treat like, the different way.
Bracing for a busy holiday season, many shop owners have taken a zero-tolerance approach. saying you can't put a price on staff.
We're not happy to accept the customer because staff is the first priority.
Many retailers say, cost of living pressures aside, sometimes it's just the festive season itself that leads to meltdowns.
Generally at Christmas time it does get a bit stressful.
Priming her team for the hordes of angry shoppers.
We just try and do the best that we can, have enough staff so that people aren't waiting long times in the queue, and just try and get through it the best way that we can.
A survey by the Allied Employees Union found a damning 76% of retail and food staff experienced verbal abuse this year. That's up nearly 50%, prompting calls for tougher laws for protection of workers.
The 4 years imprisonment for a common assault, but up to 11 years if it involves grievous bodily harm to a worker. Enough's enough. It's got to change. Christmas is meant to be a time of goodwill to all. Well, let's start with our shops and those essential workers who got us through COVID and will get us through Christmas too.
Proving it pays to be on the nice list this Christmas. Phoebe Worthley, 7 News.
Data has revealed almost 1 million Australians either delayed or avoided their prescription medication due to its cost. Regional pharmacists are helping fight for change to stop people compromising their health.
Cost of living now costing our health.
You can't go without gas, you can't go without electricity, can't go without food, so medications is one of those things that gets cut off the list quite early.
The Australian Bureau of Statistics has released new data. It reveals the proportion of people who delayed or avoided getting prescription medication when needed due to its cost, showing an increase from 5.6% in the 2022 financial year to 7.6% in the 2023 financial year.
Particularly medications that aren't covered by the PBS, so things for vertigo, things for nausea, list goes on. People just simply can't afford them. They're $40, $50 a month.
Those with multiple health conditions say they are finding it tough.
Now with my extra medication, once it runs out, I'm probably spending $70 plus a month.
The wife gets a few sort of different things for stuff, and it does affect her a lot. Like, they just go up, but like everything, cost of living is just huge.
Inflation will soon play part, causing the maximum co-payment for non-concessional card holders to increase by $1.60 on January 1st, set to increase the cost of medication from $30 to $31.60 for general patients.
You never know what you might need in the future, and yes, we're all thinking about how we spend our money. So yes, that is something that is concerning and affects everyone.
The Pharmacy Guild is lobbying to bring that co-payment down to a reasonable level, less than $20 per medication. That's going to make it a lot more affordable for all Australians.
Pharmacists are banding together for the Guild's Affordable Medicines Now campaign.
They're asking us for information that is obviously de-identified, and any case studies we see or stories that we can share with them that help them build the case to the government to then bring the medications to an affordable price for all.
Until then, Australians are holding out.
It's medication you need, and hopefully it doesn't get any more dearer.
Rochelle Putnikovic, 7 News.
Well, Kirsty is here now for a look at today's weather. And Kirsty, we've seen some scattered clouds and it's been a little bit muggy, actually.
Yeah, that's right, Nick and Maddie. Hello to you both. And good evening, everybody. It certainly has been a warm and quite humid day across the Riverina this morning, with a few drops of rain falling in Wagga at around 10 a.m. Temperatures today reached the high 20s, even the low 30s in the west for Narrandera and Lockhart under partly cloudy skies. But we certainly saw those clouds building towards the afternoon. Our winds relatively breezy too, gusting up to 30 kilometres an hour this morning for Temora and also across Young and Grenfell. Junee reached a top of 28 degrees and we had similar conditions in Chumit. Some gusty winds about tomorrow. A mostly sunny day though as our fire danger returns to a high level. I'll have our Thursday forecast shortly.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Kirsty. See you in a couple of minutes.
Still to come in 7 News, a milestone for a program which helps young people navigate the jump from school to career.
And Wagga's plans to boost the entertainment scene.
And a little later on this news hour, the latest on the prisoner exchange between Israel and Hamas. That's amid talks of a potential truce. More than 20 people arrested while protesting an Israeli-owned cargo ship in Sydney. And former Liberal staffer Bruce Lehrman begins his defamation case against Channel 10.
Welcome back. Wagga Council is proposing a huge shake-up to its entertainment facilities. The ideas may also generate more jobs.
They're the plans to put Wagga centre stage, and it's now up to the community to decide which one comes first.
The augmentation of the Civic Theatre to add the 150-seat and the 300-seat options is about $55 million. The entertainment centre would be around that $100 million mark.
Both projects are on the cards for the city's future, but the multi-million-dollar bill can't all be picked up at once. That's why Council is putting it to the people and will take what is expected to be a mammoth response to the state and federal governments.
We want to get that consultation and show the government, whoever we're lobbying, that we got a lot of responses.
If the community opt for the whole new precinct, the biggest entertainment centre in the state's south would be built on the Murrumbidgee Riverside,
which will accommodate 5,000 people in a concert, 1,200 people or more in a sit-down arrangement.
With a compelling pitch to the funding bodies as to why Wagga is best placed to host the site.
And we're the best place to have it because we're the centre of the university.
The other option would see the city's Civic Theatre expanded for half the price, but would still see a boost to the local economy.
I think it's another one of those build it and they will come things.
No matter what the community decides, the region's first First Nations cultural centre is finally looking like it will get off the ground.
We've never been this far before, but the main thing is that we've got a prospectus, we've got a business case, and we'll take that to the funding bodies and hopefully get it built. I'm pretty sure we'll get it built.
Pop-up consultation booths will be set up across Wagga for the next month, with the community also able to have their say online. Emily Francis, 7 News.
What started as a way for young people to navigate the jump from school to career is now celebrating a major milestone. The Country Education Foundation has now chalked up 30 years, all from humble beginnings.
3 decades of helping young people to achieve their career goals is worth celebrating. The Country Education Foundation marking the milestone with a well-earned party.
It was a community-inspired desire to really help the young people as they were leaving school find a better career.
Born in Burrawa, the CEF has grown to become a national charity. In its 30 years, it has awarded nearly $17 million in grants, allowing young people to know they have the backing of their hometown.
It's the local foundation that puts the complexion on it. It's the one that puts the finishing touches.
Supporting them to go to university to further their education or to take on a trade. We'll often buy the tools or we'll pay for accommodation.
The founders say the charity's success comes down to the results it has delivered.
Meeting the people, seeing the difference that it makes, going to just listening to the students.
And they want to keep making a difference, but on an even bigger scale.
To grow into other states. We're not in Western Australia, we're not in Tasmania. We have got we're in a small way in Northern Territory and South Australia, and we just see that need, and people keep telling us about that need in communities.
To help country kids get over some of those hurdles their city counterparts don't have to face.
And I think the support from the Country Education Foundation has meant that I can be slightly less stressed about working and about paying for everything.
If you would like to know more about the Country Education Foundation, go to cef.org.au. Michelle Cook, 7 News.
Up next in 7 News, an AFL dream comes true for a Turvey Park Junior.
And disappointment for Wagga's water polo stars in a tough contest.
Welcome back. Turvey Park Junior Harvey Thomas has realised a giant AFL dream overnight. A GWS Academy player, Thomas was taken by Giants with pick 59 in the draft. At just 177 centimetres tall, the Caulfield Grammar student is known for his elite ball use, endurance and ball-winning abilities. Thomas averaged 18 disposals a game during the Allies' successful National Championships campaign. The young gun was also named the Academy's Player of the Year. Riverina cricketers have arrived in Orange ahead of the New South Wales Country Championships, and the team has high hopes of a strong showing, assembling one of their best lineups ever.
The Riverina is known as a strong cricketing area, but now it's time for action. 2 teams have been picked for the new look 4-day carnival starting tomorrow.
The T20 format's been added on the Thursday, so that's pretty exciting with the opportunities we get there, and obviously we've got a few guys that can play, well, that are going to play in the T20s only. So, yeah, two teams, two very different teams.
The 50-over side will be captained by Wagga's Josh Staines, along with Chris Galvin and Hamish Starr named vice-captains. Cricket Albury-Wodonga's South African gun Nick Whitelaw has been named, along with Wagga's run machine Beck Frosdick. The team has plenty of depth, with long-time coach Trent Ball labelling it one of the best sides he's taken away.
Well, it is on paper. There's not much, we can say until we get it done. So, they've got the job ahead of them, but, I'm pretty excited to see how we go.
Two of the most exciting country players in the state, Wagga RSL's Ethan Bartlett and Ben Mitchell, headline the T20 side. Lavington trio Chris Galvin, Luke Doherty and Ryan Brown among 8 players playing both formats. And there's a big carrot for the winners of the T20 format.
There's a curtain raiser for the final, which is before Sydney Thunder and Melbourne Renegades in January in Sydney. So, if you can win a couple of games and go to that, it'd be pretty unreal.
With the talent on the park, the question and challenge ahead now for Riverina is, can they gel?
We only got sort of 24 hours to get together, so that's sort of my job really, is to get everyone to know each other and gel as best we can.
Stephen Murphy, 7 News.
Wagga Bidgie Gators have suffered a loss in a tough ACT Premier League water polo contest. Taking on top side Nordic, the Wagga outfit was no match, going down 12-1 in Game 1. It was even tougher for an inexperienced Wagga side in Game 2, defeated 27-4. The result comes on the back of an impressive first win against Australia National University. The team is now aiming to improve in the classy ACT competition. The Riverina has its own rising women's rugby league star. Star Slater has been selected in a development squad for one of the nation's best known teams, and she says she can't wait for the challenge.
Star Slater has been a star in Group 9 Women's League tag with Albury Thunder, but now her game is about to go to a whole new level. The 15-year-old has been selected by Sydney Roosters for their under-17 Lisa Viola Cup squad.
I was asked to trial and went up there and was lucky enough to get the opportunity to make it.
Slater met her teammates for the first time in Sydney last week before 3 training runs. It's part of the Code's push to establish pathways for women in the game, a game Slater has loved since she was 10.
I just find it very fun. It's like strength. You just got to put yourself in, put your body on the line, and you have to be knowledgeable about it, make plays, do stuff like that. I just find it fun overall and interesting.
The laid-back teenager's speed a key factor in attracting interest from the rugby league powerhouse.
I feel like I've run pretty good. Run the ball, do that pretty well on in-league tag and tackle.
While most girls her age will be getting ready for school holidays, Star will be travelling to Sydney each week for training. It's another indication of the Xavier High students' determination and drive to succeed one day at the professional NRLW level.
So there's a lot of running, get fit and just contact, make sure you get your tackle technique right, and just fundamentals like passing the ball and getting all the little things right.
Stephen Murphy, 7 News.
Up next in 7 News, Kirsty is back and she's got your local weather forecast. That's next.
Welcome back, everyone. A broad trough over New South Wales has generated isolated thunderstorms and showers today, while a high-pressure system is dragging warm and humid air into the state too. A second trough forecast to deepen over the west of the state through tomorrow, though, and it will slowly move across New South Wales and Victoria, allowing moisture to build and dropping moderate to heavy rainfall over much of both those states over the coming week or so. If we take a look at our rainfall map, we can see just the volume of rain forecast right across both both states. Around New South Wales, we could see areas of more than 50 to 60 millimetres, some isolated areas of around 100 millimetres of rainfall. All that kicking off across the Riverina from Friday. First, though, if we take a look to tomorrow's weather, our Thursday is looking warm and mostly sunny. There is a chance of a shower or two in the northwest, as well as those possible storms. Otherwise, looking relatively dry, some gusty northeasterly winds blowing. Temperatures about the high 20s for Grenfell and the low 30s around Tumbarumba and in Tumut. Those heavier showers are expected from Friday morning. Now, across the day, we could see as little as 2 millimetres, but as much as 20 millimetres falling across the region under mostly cloudy skies with those storms around. Another very windy day, and we'll feel those temperatures drop back. Cootamundra and Harden maximums of just 24 degrees, the same forecast in Temora. That wet weather continuing through Saturday, a high chance of showers. There's about a 95% chance of between 2 and 20 millimetres, a top of 26 in Wagga. Most of those showers and, of course, thunderstorms towards the southeast of the region. It is likely to be humid at times, barely a breath of wind as we reach the evening. Adlong 26 and Selwyn 10 overnight to that maximum of 15 degrees. If we take a look to the next 7 days now, we can see that wet weather forecast to continue into Sunday and early next week with a few scattered showers around. For now, though, a hot day tomorrow, 31 across the region before we brace for some wet weather kicking off on Friday.
Yeah, a lot of people looking forward to that rain.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Kirsty. See you later. Now, let's take a look at fuel prices across the region. In Wagga, the Metro Petroleum service station in Ashmont is selling unleaded for $1.84 and diesel there is $1.98. The Mobil service station in Coolamon is offering unleaded for $1.85 and diesel for $2.02. And in Junee, the United Petroleum service station has unleaded for $1.85 and diesel there is at $2.04.
And that is your local news for tonight. Thanks for watching. You can always catch up on our website or, of course, at 7+.
Right now, though, Dan has your national news. Have a lovely night. See you again tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. We'll see you then.